Hello, welcome to Footprints. Last week we started a conversation with Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, the Catholic priest who's known to many. We went through his various stages as he came into Ghana and his intro and some of the experiences. Very interesting. If you missed that one, please go on YouTube and look for CityTube Footprints and you find that interview. I urge you to go join, be part of that conversation. This morning we are here to continue with the conversation, so I urge you to join us. But before then, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be inviting Father Campbell. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to the program. Father, it's good to see you again.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh man, I enjoyed the first one. I hope this one takes us to the next level. Okay, so you've done so much in your, if I should say, your first maybe 15 years in Ghana. So at this point, did you have any inclination of how long you are going to remain in Ghana?
I always felt this is my life. And even though you're being invited to go back, and work here, my whole life was here, and I gave everything to my work here, and I enjoy it. I enjoy being a priest.
Yes.
I enjoy being with people. I enjoy preaching the Word of God. I enjoy giving retreats as I did for 35 years to the girls in St. Rose's. I enjoy going to the prisons. I enjoy the hospital work.
Yeah, but you could do that in other countries. Why
I just
Ghana?
enjoy the people. The people were so good to me. The people were so kind to me.
But could you have opted to go to another country?
Oh yes, I could. Yeah,
you could?
Yes, I could, yeah.
So you actually chose to be in Ghana?
Stay, yes,
But
I
those
did.
were some difficult times in Ghana, even for indigenous Ghanaians.
They were. Those times of the shortages and the famine, they were difficult. You didn't know where your next meal was coming from. You go to Kingsway, you go to UTC, and the shops were empty. There was no food. You didn't know where the next meal.
You remember the queues?
Oh, I remember the queues for food, queues for petrol, queues for all sorts. Oh yeah, I went through the whole lot.
So how were you, were they giving you food without queuing? You were a priest, so...
Yeah,
well, we used to go to, Ghana Merchant?
Yes.
Ghana Merchant.
Yes, yeah. No, we went to all over, and we'd share food too among us with the priests. We'd all help one another.
We used to share food in church, is that correct?
Yeah, we used to get food from the National Catholic Secretariat. And they'd give us food and say, let's say for the prisons, they'd give us bags of rice, dried vegetables and dried fish. So I'd call my societies.
Kaku.
Yeah. So
you know kaku?
Yes, that was a dried fish.
Yeah.
So I'd call all my societies in the church and say, okay, next Saturday you're cooking for the prisoners. So every Saturday during that particular time, I went with these people and we brought the food to Usher Fort and James Fort prison, and we gave them the food, and I said, on one condition I'll give you the food, you must let me give out the food to every one of these prisoners. So they used to let us into the prison, and the plate would be outside.
You are suspicious of the prison officers.
The plate would be outside the cell, and I put down the rice and the stew and all of that. I did that, and they were so happy with that. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we'd give food to the lepers.
And you stayed?
Too. Yes, I
stayed. I salute you for that decision.
Oh.
The thing is that you had options.
Yes. But my life is here. I gave my life to God here, and I was happy here. I was happy, so I went along with you. So we all suffered together. So what was your problem? Get on with it.
So you used an Irish passport?
Yes.
You still do?
No. I was tired of using just an Irish passport and every few years getting a renewal and such and such. Yeah. No. Now I've got a Ghana passport, and I've got my Ghana card, and I've got my voting card.
Wow.
So now I've got everything. So when I come in from the airport, he said, "Oh, Father, come here, the foreigners." I said, "I'm not a foreigner." I said, and I passed through these. And then when they asked me my nationality, you know, you have to fill in forms and your national. I said, "Get in." They look at me. I said,
Wow,
no. So I felt I'm part and parcel of life here.
Of course.
So people know me no matter where. So
That's
they know me.
correct.
This is my life.
And so how does it translate when you go back to Ireland?
Oh, I feel like a fish out of water. A fish out of water. Things have changed so much in Ireland. Changed so much.
Yeah.
Everything has changed so much. So,
Really?
Yeah. So I couldn't settle
But
down
you
there.
didn't have such British fast life kind of life in Ireland. It was more
Stable and it was
and
fine. Yeah, I
relaxed.
mean, it'd be nice, but it wasn't my life. It wasn't what I was called for. I was called to be a missionary.
Yeah.
And this is what God called me to do, to be a missionary priest. And this is what I'm happy doing. And I want to stay here. I want to be buried here. I want to be buried. I want to die in my boots. That's what I want, to die in my boots.
I mean, look, staying through the late 70s through the 80s.
You never forget those years. Never. Never forget the hardships, the difficulties, the hunger, everything. You couldn't get anything. I remember I was putting up that new building in Derby Avenue and had to queue for cement.
Cement, yes.
I had to queue for cement and go
And
to
they
the
give you a
big people,
chit, yes.
go to the castle,
Yeah.
go to the castle and sit there, and then they give you a chit and go here. Yeah, I had to do all of that. Yeah, and queue up for the petrol, you know. And,
So there are younger people under age 30 who did not experience this, you know, and they hear it like we tell in movies, you know, we had to queue for petrol, and you'll be in luck.
Bread, for milk.
Bread, you have to queue for bread. You have to queue for soap, and the soap we are talking about is something we call nkumpotoi, nkumpotoi, or some people call it manager. Manager, the soap was called manager. The soap that if you leave it in the sun, by the time it comes, the size would have diminished into soup. You had to queue for Milo, you had to queue for sugar.
Everything.
I think the only thing we never queued for was salt.
Even toilet rolls.
Toilet roll you had to queue for. They used to call some essential commodities, aka Isenko. Oh, Ghana, we have come far.
I went through it all. Yes, I went through it.
Well, no wonder you've remained here, because if you were able to go through that patch of our history with us, then you've actually crossed over the West. Yeah. And so, again, something that features in your profile is the impact that you have made on lives through our second cycle institutions. And I'm going to pick them one after the other. Typically Catholic-oriented schools. Which ones do you remember?
St. Rose's.
St. Rose's. Wow.
I'm the only old boy of St. Rose's.
St. Rose's in Akwetia, in the Eastern region.
Yes, I was one day, a Reverend Sister Beatrice, the first headmistress there, came and said, "Father, can you give retreat in the school?" And that was the start of everything. Yeah. And I stayed there for 35 years, going there every term to give all the students retreats. And it was great. The students were wonderful. They were so cooperative. There was no problem, no discipline problem.
No.
All my 35 years there, I never had to report one student to the headmistress. Wow. They were so good. And all those that passed through my hands, you can imagine 35 years. Now I meet them now.
Yeah,
I meet them in different positions, and I tell them, "Oh, I've been to St. Rosa, good, then you'll help me." They all help me.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, and they have to help me, because I tell them, if I spend 35 years in your school helping you, now you have to come and help me. So I find them in the hospital, in court, in this place. I find them all over. And I tell them, "You must help me." And I went there as a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
And no matter who it was, they all came for retreats. We had prayers, we had confession, and things were strict, especially with the former headmistress, Sister Salam. You know, I'll always remember, she was strict, Sister Salam and yay. And I remember I'd give retreat and finish at 10 o'clock at night time. But the rest of the school would finish at 9 o'clock. So between 9 and 10. So the bell would go at 9 and I'd continue with my retreat till 10. Bell would go at 9 o'clock. And then you'd hear the students in the classroom saying their prayers. After that, they all went to house 4. House 4 was the toilet. So they went there. And from there they went to the dormitory. By 9:10, lights out. Lights out. And you dare not make noise. Because sister would be below the dormitory and she'd be going, all she did was, that's all.
That's it.
And everywhere was quiet. Quiet. And you dare not study at night time, because maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, sister would walk around to check on you. The discipline, the time the lights used to go on and off, the time of the problems with electricity, they had a generator. They got a present of a generator from the German government. And I always remember, you know, during the break time, you know, when the lights would go out, people were shouting and shouting and such. Sister told them, when the lights go out, you sit where you are and you stay there and you don't make any noise.
Until the lights come
Until
back.
the lights come on.
Wow.
And they did it. That place was spotless. It was spotless. The discipline, everything. If you're eating your food and you leave food on your plate, sister will come behind you, sister Zita will come behind and knock you. Eat your food. So you dare not, you know, leave any food on your plate. Wow. This is how they were. This is how they were. And if your hair was grown such and such, hey, I always remember the late P.V. Obeng's wife. We were going down to Sister Zita's funeral, and she was telling us.
The late Sister Obeng's wife.
Yeah, she went to St. Rose's.
She lived in Akwetia, actually.
No, she didn't. I don't. No.
Temagel.
She was a student of St. Rose's.
You know, I know. And
she was a student there one day, and somebody was doing her hair up, you know, and doing all her hair, such and such. Who walked into the classroom? Sister Zita. You're always the left hand. you come to my office. So down to the office, and she took out the scissors and she cut Rose's hair. And Rose had to go home during the Christmas with dread like this. I never forget. That's how strict they were. But do you know what? These girls who went through that discipline, now they all have good jobs here or abroad in America, whatever it is. They have good jobs, and they are grateful to the sisters for the discipline they went through in St. Rose's. You know, they gave them the Catholic discipline. And the things I used to teach them, we taught every retreat, we had a different topic. A topic on prayer, a topic on forgiveness, a topic on virginity, a topic on marriage. We did this at every retreat. You know, they all had it up. And at the end of the school there, when they were leaving, I gave them a form to fill in. My promises to God. I promise to pray every day. I promise to go to church every Sunday. I promise to obey my parents. I promise to stay a virgin until I get married. You know, and many of the girls who've got married, who've come here to church, Father, I've kept my promise. I've kept my promise. You know, and one topic which they'll always remember, and you can ask any of them, was I used to show them a video on abortion. And it was done by a man, a doctor from America. He performed 70,000 abortions. And he made this video called Silent Scream. And I showed that to all the girls there.
There's one in my office. I'll ask her. Email Daku.
And ask any of those who've been in my retreats, and they will tell you that after watching that video, you'd never commit an abortion. And they tell me, Father, I was pregnant and I had just by mistake, but because of your retreats, I've never committed an abortion. I've respected life. So we taught them Catholic principles, Catholic morality, and they stood by those. And I'm happy, I'm proud today that I meet many of them. Meet many of these girls.
Many.
They're everywhere. St. Rose's girls are everywhere.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you'll find a St. Rose's girl. And they're always, Father, can I help you? Of course you can, come help me. They're always, I mean, to me, the school was a wonderful school, and the girls there and others, so supportive. And they help me in my work with the poor and the needy. They're always there ready to help me. Father, what can we do to help you? What can we do? They're always there. And to me, they're a wonderful, wonderful school. And I thank God for the opportunity. For 35 years, I went there every term. 3 times a year I went there.
Wow. Wow. So apart from St. Rose's, in fact, let me again on St. Rose's before I move out of. Do you remember some of the names that come, to you naturally?
I mean, the likes of Rose Obeng and others, and other girls who passed through, like Abena Amwa, Tina Nelson. I mean, there's so many of them. They still come to visit me. They still phone me. They still keep in touch with me.
And they're very Catholic.
Very Catholic. But not all are Catholic. No, I mean, I became friendly with everybody, no matter who you are. Religion didn't come into this. Religion did not come into this. No
My friend Roma.
Yes, Rosemary Puni. Yes, Rosemary. She's very Catholic. Yes.
While in school, she was Rosemary Puni.
Yes,
and then when she came out, I think when you saw the light, you changed from Rosemary to Roma.
Yes,
Roma to speaks very highly of you. And a few of them, well, not a few of them, many of them also went into medical school. You meet some of them?
A lot. When I in the hospital in Korlibu, or in the military hospital. I met one there recently, and two of them, they're doctors of pharmacy. And they said, Father, I said, how do I know you? Oh, Father, you gave me a retreat in St. Rose's.
Wow.
And I meet them and I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them to see that they've gone so far and they've done so well. They said, Father, I've kept my promise. I've kept my promise. I don't have to ask them what promise they've kept.
Yeah.
Because they know we stress is the dignity. We talked of the dignity of the human person. We have to have dignity for what God has given to you. So I'm happy that these messages have got across to them. And I'm proud of them.
So apart from St. Rose's, any other schools that you
everywhere I went, I gave retreats in Tema Secondary School when I was in Tema. I used to go to the Accra Polytech when I was in Holy Spirit Cathedral. I used to go to Holy Trinity in Cassias. I used to go there every Friday. I was there. I used to give retreats at Legon to the students at Legon. I gave retreats up in St. Martin's Secondary School and St. Peter's Secondary School. So I went around to the others to see them. But St. Rose's stands out because...
Was the base.
Yes.
Was the base.
Yeah.
Now, some of the content or the content of the kind of things you used to share, do you find them, in the lives of people you meet?
The contents of the
retreats?
retreats.
The outcomes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the happy marriages I see today in these Rosecan young ladies, I mean, we talked every class before they left St. Rose's. I gave them a talk on marriage, the Christian marriage that's expected of them, and how to behave such and such. And when I see them today, married, happily married and such, I'm proud of them. Or they'll ask me to do their wedding for them. They'll ask me to baptize their babies. That I see that, some good has come out of this in the end.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that, when I went there, we went there, every retreat was, it wasn't time for playing.
Yeah.
It was a time of business, a time to pray to God, a time for confession, a time for discussion, a time on a topic that I took. And they were very, very cooperative in every way.
Was there at any point any encounter that you had that you thought you would have done differently? No,
I must say, as I went along with them, I grew with them, as it were. I got to know them better. I got to know how to approach them and what topics to take. And it just went along. I mean, 35 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. Yeah. And I often look back at my notes when at the beginning, and I grew with them. I grew with them on the topics I would take and other things. I grew with them on that.
Whoa. Well, this is still Footprints with Reverend Father Attah-Mensah Campbell. We just left St. Rose's in Akwitia and we are coming back to Accra. Okay, we'll take a short break. When we come back, Father Campbell is also known for their support and being a major key patron in the lives of lepers in Ghana. We'll find out how he got himself into that and how he's been able to sustain this. We'll be right back.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back to the program. This is Footprint, and I'm here with Reverend Father Campbell. Father, so you are doing some work with lepers in Ghana. You know, on the face of it, it doesn't sound like an attractive thing for ordinary people to do. I mean, in our own growing up stories, lepers are not the kind of people that we are normally seen to be mingling with. So that must be a bold one for you to have even initiated. We'll get to that, but you claim that you come from Kodiabe, you know, which is your home in Ghana. You know, what have you done there?
When I went to Good Shepherd Parish in Tema, Kodiabe was an outstation of Tema. It had been about 8 or 9 outstations at the time. And Kodiabe was one of the outstations. At that stage, they had no church, they had no hospital, they had a broken down school. You nearly want to take your insurance policy out to go into the school because the ceiling was coming down. And I remember one time going there on a Sunday, I went there for Mass. Nobody came, so I left them.
Wow.
I left them. Oh my goodness, is this what could? But I didn't give up. Then I continued and continued. And I just fell in love with Kodiabe. I just fell in love. They challenged me. So we helped them build extensions to their school, we put in a computer laboratory and a library. We built a new church for them. We started a clinic. Archbishop Ando came with the nuncio and said, now I want you to start a clinic. We're bringing 4 Reverend sisters from India. I didn't get anything from anybody, just started, you know. Now, where do I get money to start a clinic? And then I have to take care of 4 Reverend sisters from India. I had nothing. So the church chairman was building a house. So he gave us, we had to finish the house, and the sisters stayed there for about 2 or 3 years. And then with the clinic, we just started off from scratch. It was an old house they had. An old house, no windows, no doors, nothing. We started the clinic from there. Now it's a hospital. It's St. Andrew's Hospital.
Named after you?
Oh, everything is in Kodiabe is St. Andrew's. Even the dam is St. Andrew's. Even the boat there is St. Andrew's.
The what?
The hospital. There's a boat. I have a boat on the lake there.
Oh, there was a boat there, St. Andrew's boat.
Oh, yeah. And then the hospital, the school, everything. St. Andrew's my patron saint.
Yeah.
So he's been so good and he's been my inspiration. So we started a hospital or the clinic then from scratch. And the sisters were wonderful. And sadly, after about 5 or 6 years, the sisters were in an accident. About 3 of them were killed. Yeah, it was sad. They were sad. They were coming back from Kumasi, and they died in that motor car accident. So 3 more came and took their place. And now the hospital is thriving. So
wow.
we built a 30-bed ward for them, you know, and men 10-bed, men 10-bed, women 10-bed, children. We've a theatre there, but we've nothing in the theatre. I'm looking for somebody to help me to sponsor. There's nothing.
Do you have medical?
We have 2 doctors.
You have doctors there.
Yes. So we've nothing in the theatre. I need help. You know, I don't have anything in the theatre. There's not even a chair in the theatre.
So let me go slowly. You have upgraded what used to be a clinic in Kodiabe over the years, and now turned into a hospital, and you have wards.
Yes.
30 beds.
30 bed, and then you've got a maternity block.
A maternity
You've got
block, which is different.
outpatients. Yeah, it's different.
And
different.
the OPD?
OPD is different, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you have a theater.
Now the theatre is part of the 30 bed
Okay.
the building, which Christ the King sponsored for our anniversary.
Lovely.
It's a big
Okay.
complex.
So what you're saying is that you would appreciate if, people can help you
Help me.
resource the
Correct,
theater.
yes.
So here you go. You have money sitting there. You are just throwing it everywhere except where it's useful. This is Reverend Father Campbell. We normally don't do this, but you understand that it's for a worthy cause. And he has accounted for everything that he has done in this country. So a call to you that are listening to me, you can reach out to us. We'll connect you to Reverend Father Campbell. You will help resource the theater. And it doesn't end there. He does lots of other things, one of which we are going to talk about. So from Kodiabe, you also find yourself always helping lepers. Now, in the Ghanaian culture, leprosy is not something that we find, it's not funny. We have all these, children's stories that makes fun of lepers, and all that. So you don't find them welcomed in our communities. How did you end up doing this?
It started off when I was working at a cathedral, and I was out one day in my shorts and shirt, and I was working on the compound, and a leper came with a bag of mangoes and gave them to me, and I was scared. I gave the mangoes away quickly, and then I said, no, that's not right. It's not right. So I said, let me go to where this man lives at Wager. And when I went there, I was shocked. I saw the state of the place. It was awful, awful. I said, no, I'm going to give my life to these people. And I fought for these people.
So who was this person?
He was one, no fingers.
Who was he, like a random?
He was from Wager.
He came all the way from Wager.
Came all the way from Wager to give me a bag of mangoes.
He knew about you?
Yes, he came to Holy Spirit Cathedral. And he had no fingers, nothing. He just said, here's Father, here's the present of a bag of mangoes. Hey.
So there you are thinking,
Let me go further. Let me find out where is he from. Let me go and visit. The place was awful.
Did he know you were
doctor.
coming?
No, he didn't know. There's no doctor, there's no nurse. The place was run down. It was bad.
I'm curious when you say the place. So what, is it a community that has...
You've got four buildings, 4 buildings, and they all have a room each, about 40 rooms in the place.
Who put up the building?
This was put up many years ago, about 65 years ago it was put up. What happened was, the lepers lived in Jumbo, here in Lebadi.
Where?
Jumbo. It was a part of Lebadi.
Okay.
And they were there with some cholera patients. But the people there and the chiefs didn't want the lepers there. So they wanted to shift them. So they were going to go from here to Cape Coast. But a leper is not allowed to cross the river. What's the river? The river Densu. So an Englishman got land where the lepers are now. He got that land for the lepers. And in the Lands Commission, it's for the lepers. It is leprosy land given to the lepers. And then they invited the cholera patients to come, and they also took part of it, sort of their neighbors. And that's how it started. And it just grew.
Remember which year that would be?
Oh, over 65 years ago.
Okay.
65. So it is land for the lepers in the Lands Commission. So nobody can take it from us. Nobody. So the people that stay there, they've been living there for all these years, neglected.
So your first encounter when you got there?
It was awful, shocking. Oh, it was awful. I'll never forget it, never forget it. So I said, I'm going to fight for these people.
But how were they eating?
Begging. Many families desert them. They just run away from them, and then they'll come for the dead bodies.
Okay. Okay, so the families dumped them there
Dumped
and
them
ran
there.
away.
And then when in Ghana, when somebody dies, the news travels fast. So when a leper dies, then he'll come and collect the body
And go and bury.
and go and bury them.
And they will raise money.
Of course. And they'll get money. We had one lady, she was a queen mother. We didn't know she was a queen mother. We didn't know. And when she died, then the family came and took her back to the hometown. We didn't know she was a queen mother. And she was a leper there. And we had another old man there. He was 90. He was blind. He was the one in charge out there. And when he died, I went to his room and picked out a nice up and down to wear in the coffin. I came the next day and he was in a suit. I said, hey, a suit? This man never wore a suit in his life. So I said, and this was only a day in between. I was with him the day beforehand. So the family had come and they bought a suit for him. They came and I bought the coffin, because we always buy the coffin for the lepers. And we pay all the expenses because they can't pay them. So during my sermon, I thanked the family for coming. And there they were with their cameras, the videos and all sorts, taking pictures and such and such. I said to the family, thank you for coming. It's a pity you had to wait till he died before you came to see him. And they were so angry with me for saying that. They were so angry, because they put on a suit which he never wore in his life. He was there many years. He was 90 when he died. And I said, is this how you treat lepers? So I put him in the back of my car and I went and I buried him myself with the rest of them. And then when they came back, the family had a pickup full of drinks and they had their funeral rites on the compound. They never gave me a bottle of water because they said I insulted them.
Wow.
I never got a bottle of water from those people. It was shocking. It's wrong how we've treated these people. And we have to do more and more and more and more for them. The former President Mahama, he came one day to greet the lepers. So I took him around to shake hands with everybody. We went around and then when he finished, I said, Your Excellency, I said, I'm building a facility up in Enkanchina, that's beside Oti district.
Oti region.
Yeah, Oti region. So I'm building a 40-bed, 40-room facility. I need money. And he looked at me and said, Father Campbell, you're a real beggar priest. I said, yes. I said, I'm begging for these lepers. I'm begging for them. I need money for them. So please help me to build this facility. So I went on leave and I came back. He still hadn't given me the money. So I got in my car one day and I went to his house. And I was sitting in the sitting room and he came in. He said, oh, Father Campbell, welcome to my house. Can I help you? I said, yes, you promised me money for the lepers. So I'm coming here to see, oh, Father, I forgot. He sent me the money. Not only did he send me the money, there was a man there sitting, waiting to see him. And he was a distributor of rice. He said, give Father rice. I got a lorry load of rice too to go with it, which I sent to these people in Enkanchina. So I'm a beggar priest, yes. I'm begging for these lepers. I beg. Recently, I needed food for the lepers in Ho. They had no food in Ho. No food. Medical supplies and others.
Tell me, where are the lepers, apart from the Wager area? Where else do you have some?
Wager, Ho, Enkanchina, Cape Coast, Kukufu, and up Wa area, around that area. There are over 700 lepers there in that area now. They're not in any facility. They're not in. They're living in their homes. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't know they have leprosy. So we want to build a laboratory dispensary up there for them now. That's what our main attraction now is, to do something so that they don't have to send all the tests right down to Cape Coast. So we'll have something up there. So I'm looking for money to buy to be able to put up a building.
So
there.
all these leper communities that you talk about, so they depend on you?
They're on those at Wager are on the LEAP fund, and some at Ho are on the LEAP fund. They get a CD a day. But pardon me, what's a CD a day?
1 CD a day?
1 CD, 30 CDs a month, and then it comes every few months. And I've asked the government, please increase it. Let's help them. what can we do for these people? Because when I went to Ho, it was awful. When I found out that he needed food, I rang the Minister for Finance. And I said, Your Excellency, I said, I need money.
You mean the current Minister?
The current Minister, Ken Ofori-Attah. And I said, I need money for food. I said, things are bad in Ho. I need to buy medical items. I need to buy food. And I said, how much? He said, I said, I need 60,000 cedis. He sent it to me.
60.
Yes. And I went myself to Ho, and I gave everybody a bag of rice, a gallon of oil, sugar, milk, soap. I gave them all that. I said, this is between now and Christmas. You take care of yourselves. And I thank the Minister for being so kind and generous to me. Just the same to the Vice President when I was short. They also helped me. You know, I beg for them, no matter who you are.
So, but why don't we have an institution from the Ghana Health Service that will be committed to taking care of the lepers?
I don't know.
Have you advocated for a thing
I have,
like this?
but nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. So they depend on NGOs.
So
like
officially, they have been deserted.
Deserted, abandoned.
Abandoned.
Yes, abandoned. They've been abandoned. Like you take Wager. I have to get money to pay for the electricity, for the water. I had to put in 2 boreholes there last year. The food, medicals, I have to do all of that. I have to pay for their national health card.
But that's really sad.
I have to do all of that. They come every month looking for money from me for their, you know, and I've 3 of his staff out there taking care of them, looking after them.
So they've been abandoned by their own families as well.
So their own families. Some, I've got families that take care of them. Some, but not all. Most of them are abandoned. There was one lady recently, she died. She had nobody to take care of her. I had to bury her, I had to buy her coffin, buy everything, pay for the grave, everything. There was nobody from our family, nobody there. So she was all on her own, we buried her.
But is there a register of their, say, next of kings or where they have come from?
We try to get those, but it's not always successful. You know, we try to keep in touch with the families, but it's not always successful.
No, I'm concerned because, you see, so long as you are active in ministry and with your purpose of helping them, maybe they will be surviving. But what if tomorrow Father Campbell is not available?
We have the Lepers Aid Committee, and they're responsible. Like just this weekend, those up in Nkanchina, they're also hungry. I just sent a lorry load of food on Friday and Saturday to Nkanchina. And this was done by the Lepers Aid Committee. Somebody came recently and gave me a check for a few thousand cedis. I went and bought food with it. I went and asked one of my members of my church for a loan of his vehicle. He gave me his vehicle and he put petrol in it and gave me the driver free of charge. So we sent food there on early Saturday morning, came back yesterday. So my Lepers Aid Committee are there to continue as much as possible what I've started. And we have to do something, we have to. And you know, my priests, some of my priests, they tease me. Here's the leper priest. Oh, the leper priest can pray. Oh, who's going to pray? Oh, Father, ask the leper priest. It's okay. It's okay. Well, we have to help them. And people are very generous. People come and they give me money. They give me whatever help I need when I ask for help. They're always there to help me. When I first came to Christ the King, some woman said, I hope Father Campbell doesn't bring those dirty people here. So I stood up in the pulpit the following Sunday and said, look, these are not dirty people. They're children of God. It's not their fault they have leprosy. And I educated them. From that day to this, they're most welcome here. The Christ the King people have taken them to heart. And they help them, they support them, they give me money for them, they give me food for them. And it's a matter of education. Let's educate our people. Let's see what we can do to help them and be able to support them in every way. So, I mean, I beg the government to help, and I'm always begging and begging and begging, and I'll continue to beg till I die, no matter who you are. I'll beg from you.
Now, Father, I want you to look into that camera and and tell people what you want them to do to help the lepers.
I want your support. Your support. I mean, we have to buy food for them every month. We have to pay for their medical bills. Like this one lady that just had her leg amputated. Her leg amputated.
And how did you pay for that?
I went to the vice president and said, I need 7,000 CDs for to get for the leg amputated. Now I have to buy a renewed false
and he gave you the money?
Gave me the money. He sent me 7,000 CDs.
Wow.
So I paid for the operation down in Cape Coast.
You always know where to go.
I mean, you have to ask.
You don't come to poor people like us.
You have to, you have to ask. That's the secret of fundraising, is to ask. And I will ask. It's not for me.
That's correct.
I don't need the money. I'm healthy. I'm well. I'm strong. God has blessed me. Until the day I die, I want to be able to, help these people. Give them dignity. Don't look down on poor people.
Yeah.
We have so many poor people. All those children who come here every day, the 200 who come here every day for the soup kitchen. Every day they come for food. I don't look down on them. They sleep, at ShopRite. They sleep at the National Theatre. They sleep all. I don't look down on them. I don't look down on a leper. Let's give them dignity and support in every way. And every month, everybody should be given part of their wages, towards the poor and needy. Because you need to share and give. Mother Teresa always said, give until it hurts you. Let's give, let's share. No matter what we have, we can give. Like recently, I got 400 bags of rice from the Vice President. I sent it all over the country, to the lepers, to 3 children, to others. They were so happy, so happy. So let's share, let's give. Whatever it is, people come here, and they give an envelope to my secretary. Don't tell Father, just give it to him. And it's wonderful.
So this is the efforts, the good efforts of Reverend Father Campbell. I mean, he fortunately knows where to go. I mean, but there are some of you priests there, you don't even know where to go, and you still have this burden to help the poor. Start from somewhere. We will take a short break. When we come back, now Father Campbell's name has come up for mention and associated with a doctorate, a honorary doctorate degree. We want to find out how come and why is that. We'll be right back.
This is Fact Finder from the BBC.
We live in a world where news travels fast, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate fact from fiction. Fact Finder brings fact-checking from the newsroom up close so you can separate truth from chaff. Be empowered to tell what's fake from what's real. Watch Fact Finder by the BBC on City TV every Wednesday at 6 p.m. City TV. It's your world.
Welcome back. This is Footprints and with Father Campbell. So, Father, I hear that you are being recognized in no small way, being given a doctorate from the University of Health and Allied Sciences in Ho. How are you taking that?
I was really shocked to hear this. My work as a priest is to help people, especially the underprivileged. My work is continuing the work of Christ, to look after the underprivileged and the poor and the needy. So it's not honors we look for. I'm there to serve you, no matter who you are. I will go out of my way to help you, whatever it is, whether you're a leper, a street child, whether you're a prisoner, whether you're young, no matter who you are. This is our. So I see this honor not just for me, but for all those in my committee.
That it's important,
who have worked.
You haven't called for it.
Yeah, I haven't asked for it.
But you see, there are those who are in your space, if you like, who have professed to do what you're doing, who have confessed to do what you're doing, but have digressed. But you have stayed the course and you've made impact.
I mean, I just love being a priest, and I love doing this work.
Yeah.
I love, advocating for whoever it is. I love going begging, and I've got many other ideas.
So what will be their citation? What are they looking at?
My work for the lepers. That's
lepers?
all I know. Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I know. My work for the lepers over all these years, that they want to recognize me for this. So I take it for the
congratulations.
committee. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. But again, you know, it will be, we don't have enough time to talk about all the other things. But I know again that you've had some work done with street children in Accra.
We started 5 years in January. We started something very small. I saw people coming to church every day begging for food. So I decided to start the soup kitchen here at Christ the King. We started off with 5, 6, 10 people. Then it went on to
5 years ago, were you here in Christ the King?
Yes, I was here, yes.
Oh, you've been here this long?
Oh, 10 years now, yes, 10 years.
But at last I saw you in Tema.
Yeah, that was going back. You're going back a long time.
Wow.
So I decided to start. And it just grew and grew and grew. 40, 50, 60 kids every day would come. And then when the lockdown came, then we were feeding up to 800 a day in different parts of the city. And again, I was begging. I begged for money, and people gave me plenty of money, gave me rice and food. We're going back to the beginnings of the soup kitchen. Every morning they come, and we give them, we teach them. We give them breakfast, and we teach them maybe on good manners, on the Bible, on living a good, clean life, whatever it is. We give them a class, and then we give them food. We get to know them. We get to know them. And those who are interested to continue their education, we will help you. So we have children in different schools, and they're doing well. We've got them off the streets. We also go to their families. Sometimes their families are in Kumasi or in Takoradi, or we go there to see if there's any problem. Can we reconcile them? They need such and such. We go there. And then also they're always getting into fights, and they come here with all sorts of medical cares to
They
take
do
it.
fights?
They're always fighting. They come. One guy came recently, big slitter. Somebody owed him money, and he said, "I want my money back." And the guy slit him all. So we have to send him to hospital.
I mean, street life is not easy.
Hey, these boys are tough, and the girls too. They're tough boys.
Oh, they are with the girls there?
Aye, the boys and girls are both.
And they come together?
Not here. They don't get too many girls here.
Okay.
You know, they go elsewhere. So
they go and look for the girls elsewhere.
I don't know where they do it. I visit them. I go to their places where they sleep. It's awful.
Ooh.
The conditions they live in, it's awful. I go there. I go and see where they stay. So we get to know them. And when you get to know them and you find out their problems and their difficulties and such, and you want to help them, then you send them to a school. Look after them in school. So this is like a first stop here.
Okay.
And then from there we'll be going on. We'll start later on a second stop, which will be a dormitories and a shelter for them. We get them a shelter and the classes.
You have them
for them
now, or you're still putting them together?
We're getting that. We're getting places. We're getting places. So things are looking good. Our future plans for these 3 children. Future plans to help them.
Now, would this intervention be borne by the Christ the King parish, or this is Reverend Father Campbell leading?
I'm starting a foundation.
Okay. Okay.
So at the moment it's being processed and it has to go to Rome and get permission from there.
Okay.
And I start a foundation, and it will take care of 3 children, lepers, Kodia Bay, and the Children's Hospital. So I've got a board in place. I'm getting a board in place, and I've got about 13 of a board membership, and then also about 30 patrons. And we work together so that when I'm no longer here, the foundation will continue what I have started. So I've handpicked all the members of the board, handpicked all the patrons. So I want them to continue what I've started.
Good
not
job.
to stop.
You also have some footprints in our prisons. What have been some of your experiences?
My experience in prisons, I could talk the rest of the day about my life in Usher Fort and James Fourth Prison. I was there during the hard times.
Yeah.
The people I've seen in prison, I've seen at Champong, I've seen Pa Willie, I've seen all the AFRC convicts. I prepared people for the firing squad. You know, I've seen the rough times.
You did what?
Those preparing for the firing squad. I'd hear their confessions and pray with them before they were taken out to John
Let me
Tay,
take that. That
area.
That sounds
Yeah.
is a unique opportunity as a priest to be praying for somebody who knows their faith in that sense.
Oh, it was.
So you had one-on-one with them?
Yes, one-on-one, have prayers with them.
Remember some of them?
I don't know them by
name?
name, no. No, I don't. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
A long
This
time
was
ago.
in 79.
Yeah, and they were questioning why, you know, I want to help my country, I want this and such and such. So I would comfort them, I would talk to them.
But again, what was going through your mind as a young priest sitting down with people who you knew were going to be?
I found it difficult. But I was there as a priest to comfort them.
Of course.
I was there as a priest to encourage them. You see, I see my vocation because next month we're going to launch a book on my life. Somebody's written a book on my life, and the title is Missionary of Hope. A missionary of hope. And I see my life as a priest is to be a missionary of hope. So whether it's a prisoner, a leper, a street child, a poor person, whatever it is, this is my life. My life is to bring hope. My life is to bring hope to this man who's going to go out and you bless his head and you know that soon he'll have a bullet through his head there. I'm there to give him hope, encouragement, support. That's what a priest is for. I
get
I'm not there to judge anybody.
Yeah.
I'm there to tell you, don't give up. You know, God loves you. Tell the lepers, and also.
But they shouldn't give up what?
Exactly? Shouldn't give up life. You shouldn't give up, you know, in hope.
But they are going to kill them.
Yeah, but they shouldn't give it. But there's a life afterwards.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, there's a life from here. We're going somewhere else.
Aye.
So you know, this is not the end. It's not the end. The same too. We never mentioned about my work with the prostitutes here in cantonments. I've gone there.
But they are still there, right?
I've gone there and I've talked to the people and I've prayed with them and I've told them, don't give up, don't give up. I was there one day and I was on the roundabout and I was talking to one young lady, you know, all dressed nice, and there were cars going around and they were saying, hey, Osofo, what's Osofo doing here? And I'd be praying for them. One girl went on her knees and said, Father, I want confession, Father, I want blessing. And I'd give them blessing and pray. And I get some of them off the streets.
They are still around. Where Star Hotel used to be.
Roundabout.
The hotel is no more there, but they should go to another place.
So I'd get them off the streets. We got some of them off the streets and we sent them to catering school.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and so now they're working as a in a catering.
Oh, that's
you know,
a wonderful
and this is what we have to do. And they would
so
tell
the numbers have actually decreased.
They would tell me, they say, Father, our working hours are from 9 o'clock at night time to 4 in the morning. That's our working hours. And at 4 we go home, and then we have our bath, and then we come to church. And I remember one day I was greeting the people after Mass, and these two young, beautiful dressed ladies came. I said, hi, Father. I said, hi. Don't you remember us? No. Father, you met us last night. And they came, and they told me, Father, every Christmas we give gifts to the children's, you know, the poor, needy children. They share. They give to others. You know, so don't always look down at these people. I would sit down with them on the road there. I'd sit down with them and I would talk to them, and they would tell me, where they're from, their problems, the difficulties. They've got to feed their children are in Takoradi with their mother or something. I mean, they would tell you everything, and they'd sit and talk and cry with you. I mean, what is a priest for? A priest is a missionary of hope, whether it's to a leper, whether it's to a prostitute, whether it's to a prisoner, lifelong prisoner, no matter who it is. This is our work, is to bring hope, encouragement to all these people. And this is my life. I thank God for the great gift He's given to me being a priest. I'm really grateful. For 50 years, He's given me this fantastic, wonderful gift of being a priest, of ministering to people. I thank God for that. And it's been such a blessing. All I can say, God, I thank you, thank you. And He's kept His promise. when he gave me that £10 note,
Yeah.
and he said, I will take care of you. He has not left me down.
Yeah.
He's not let me down in any way. He's been with me all these years, and he supported me in every way. He's always been there to do this, do that, such and such. He's been a blessing working. I say, thank God for being a missionary of hope.
Well, that's such a great testimony. What more can I say? This is Reverend Father Neil Campbell sharing his experiences. And from the experiences, everything shows that he did not call himself to this mission. Everything shows that he did not call himself. Neither is it his decision, but clearly it is God who has called him to do this work. Because for some of the encounters that he's had, the human element in you would give up. But he has stayed the course, sustained ministry, and keeps giving people hope. What would you do after hearing Father Campbell? Thank you for joining us. This has been Footprint. My name is Samuel Attah-Mensah. See you next time.